Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. Okay, so it looks like Nelly is being accused of sexually assaulting two other women. I covered this actually back in January when the two women were a part of another claim that another woman made. They were joining in on her complaint. But it looks like they have separated and they have filed new charges in their own complaint. So it looks like it's a new thing, but I actually covered this in January. So I'm going to go to the blast to read part of the article. Then I'm going to post part of the video that I already covered back in January so that you guys can hear, you know, the details of certain parts of this that was not covered currently. Anyway, so according to the blast, it says Nelly is being sued for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman following a concert in England last year. The woman, identified in the lawsuit only as Jane Doe, previously detailed her allegations against the rapper as part of a different lawsuit filed against Nelly last year. At the time, back in January, when I first covered it, Chantel, which is his girlfriend, she came forward and she told everybody that the girls were liars and she was discrediting them, saying that they're just trying to pretty much make a story out of this. And it looks like the women are trying to sue her as well for defamation. So I'm going to input part of the video that I covered back in January, and then I'm going to bring you guys up to speed with more details on what these women are saying about Nelly. Okay, fast forward to now. There are two women who come forward, and now they're claiming that there was a sexual misconduct situation with the rapper. So his girl, Miss Jackson, decided to come to social media and, you know, defend her man. This is what she had to say. Look, I know he fucked up, and we're dealing with that in our relationship to rebuild it and find trust. Having to go through all of this publicly is the worst feeling ever. But this should not open the door for false claims. Those dates these Jane Does are claiming, I was at those venues, in the dressing rooms, and on that tour bus. There are women dealing with real issues of sexual assault, and for the first time, people are listening, and there's a chance for real change. But all of this work is discredited and makes things harder for the survivors when people lie. So she's like, look, chicks, you guys are lying. I was there. It didn't happen, and I can say that it didn't happen. But if I'm not mistaken, I definitely remember the day that all of this rape stuff came out. She had been posting videos the night before, which appeared that she was at the concert. I assume she was at the concert because the videos from her Instagram story were recent, as if she was there on stage with him at the time. So if he's having consensual sex with this other woman and you were there, then how can you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Anyways, I know you guys are probably wondering, like, okay, who are these two women? Who are these new accusers? Well, you know, I got you. Let me go to the page 6 to give you the article where it details a little bit of information about the women. So on page6.com, it says, 2 more women have accused Nelly of sexual assault. One of the new accusers alleges that Nelly, whose real name is Cornell Haynes Jr., stuck his hand up her dress at a concert after party in June 2016. According to an amended complaint initially filed by accuser Monique Green, the second new accuser claims the rapper, 43, masturbated in front of her in a dressing room after a concert in December 2017. She also claims Nelly grabbed her head in the attempt to demand oral sex. Jane Doe 1, a happily married mom who is stationed in the UK with the military, bought VIP tickets to Nelly's show where she and a friend could take a photo with him backstage. So then there's quotes, and I'm assuming this is directly from her. She says, then because the room was crowded, he suggested that they move back to another smaller VIP, which they did. The document describes Jane Doe 2 as a mother of 3 who attended a Nelly concert with a group of friends. They decided to pay to have their picture taken with the performer. He asked her twice to follow him into a room so they could talk. And the second time, Nelly closed the door, stood in front of it, and dropped his trousers, according to the complaint. Okay, so that was in my video back in January when I covered this. And like I said, Chantel pretty much said that the girls were lying. She said that they weren't telling the truth. And in this new statement and these new documents, it shows that the women are now, they're suing her and including her in the lawsuit for defamation of character. That video had parts that this article didn't have because so I wanted to mix and blend both together, new and old information. So now let me continue reading the Blast website where it has exactly her step-by-step accounts of what happened. Some of it might be repetitive from my clip, but it's extra stuff blended in there. So I'm going to read it from the Blast and then, bring you guys totally up to speed on this whole situation. Anyways, according to court documents filed on November 14th and obtained by the Blast, Jane Doe says that in December 2017, she attended Nelly's show in Essex, England with a few girlfriends. They paid money to get a photo taken with the rapper. She says when she got to Nelly, he asked her to stay behind to talk. Jane Doe says he eventually asked her to come to his dressing room and allow her girlfriends to tag along. According to Jane Doe, Nelly then asked her to go with him into a small room next door. Once inside the room, Jane Doe says Nelly closed the door, stood in front of it, and dropped his trousers. She says she told him to pull up his trousers. Jane Doe claims Nelly started masturbating and said, "You want this D, don't you?" She claims she continued to reject him, and Nelly put his hands down Jane Doe's top and tried to pull it off. This was without her consent. Jane Doe says she tried to defuse the situation by explaining she has a spouse and kids, but Nelly told her that didn't matter. Eventually, she says Nelly pulled up his pants and started walking towards her. And then they give a disclaimer going forward because it gets a little more graphic and they say that the next parts are not safe for work. So if you're at work, then you might want to put some headphones in. Anyways, so the lawsuit goes on to say Jane Doe is 4'11" and petite. As he approached her, she tried to move back, but there was nowhere she could go. He dropped his trousers and said he really wanted her. Defendant Nelly began to masturbate again. He told her she wanted him. Jane Doe repeated that she did not. Defendant Nelly tried to kiss Jane Doe 2 times. He said he wanted to come in your mouth and all over you. Jane Doe continued to evade and refuse him. It continues. Defendant Nelly then grabbed Jane Doe's hand and placed it on his penis. She pulled her hand away and told him generally the following: "That's enough. Who the F do you think you are? Look, mate, I had a really nice time at the concert. You may have sold records and may have more quid in your bank than I do, but this doesn't make you any more special than me. Pull your trousers up, back up, and F off." Her tone seemed to upset Nelly, and she claimed Nelly clenched his fist and his whole demeanor completely changed. She claims he got a look in his face that scared Jane Doe. She looked around and didn't know how to get out of the room. She said, "Are you going to hit me?" He responded, "No, I'm just frustrated. I'm not used to not getting my way. Just do it." And then defendant Nelly put his hand on the back of her head and his left hand on her shoulder and forced her head down, pushing his erect penis into her mouth. This constituted sexual assault, the lawsuit claims. Jane Doe was in utter shock. Once he thought that he had her in a position, defendant Nelly released her shoulder. Jane Doe jumped back, twisted, and fell backwards into the shower curtain. She was able to scramble out of the room. After gathering her friends, Doe says she began to leave the room when Nelly stopped her. Jane Doe claims Nelly reached out and pulled her and told her in a threatening manner, "I will find you." Jane Doe says she never went to the police with what happened because she felt no one would believe her. She eventually spoke to police after they reached out to her. In addition to her sexual assault claim, Jane Doe is also suing Nelly's girlfriend, Chantel Jackson, for defamation because of the comments she made on social media. Jane Doe is seeking unspecified damages, and the Blast reached out to Nelly for comments. So far, no word back. Well, as I already showed you guys the clip from January, it shows like what she said. And they're saying, you know, we're going to sue you too. You going to speak up? We're going to sue you. Some of her accounts, I can see why she would say that, you know, if she went to the police, they wouldn't believe her because it does sound extreme. But I feel like we never know in these situations. A lot of people are quick to think like, you know, it's a celebrity. They can get any girl they want. And true enough, they can. But there is a lot of times where they feel, because they feel like they could get any girl they want, they feel entitled to certain things. Not saying that he did sexually assault her, but I'm not going to discredit her and count out her story, because celebrities do bizarre things feeling like they are entitled to certain things, you know? Since the resurfacing allegations came out again, Nelly has since released a statement to TMZ. Flash the screen, pause it. Well, not flash it, but pause the screen to read his statement and then tell me what you guys think about this situation. But what do you guys think about this situation? What do you guys think about him having the first situation in October and then 2 other people came out that were a part of that lawsuit, and now it looks like they're a part of their own lawsuit or whatever? But what do you guys think about this whole situation? Let's talk about it in the comments. All right, guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now. Don't wait, do it right now. Also, be sure to check out the links in my description, because I have links to my other YouTube channel where I have like personal videos with myself, like vlogging and things like that. And I have the links to my social media. So be sure to check out the description box, and I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, guys, peace.